Namaskar, welcome to Exercise Explained. In this video, I would be solving question number 10 and question number 11, Exercise 8A, Current Electricity, ICSE 10th Physics. The previous questions have been done in the previous videos, the link for which will be provided in the description. If you like the video, do share it with your friends and consider subscribing to the channel. So, starting with the 10th question, a wire of 3 ohm resistance. So resistance is given, I would consider it as R1, that is equal to 3 ohms, and 10 centimeter length. So the previous length is 10 centimeter, it's stretched to 30 centimeter length. So I would consider L1 is equal to 10 centimeter. Now when we convert centimeters to meter, we multiply by 10 to the power of minus 2. So we can write it as 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. L2 is given as 30 centimeter. Now 30 centimeter can be written as 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. Assuming that it has a uniform cross section, that means the entire wire is uniform, what will be its new resistance? Now since there is nothing mentioned about change in material, we would consider resistivity to be the same, that is rho 1 is equal to rho 2 is equal to rho. So as we can see here, the length is being increased 3 times, so the area of cross section would be reduced by 3 times. So if I consider A1, that is the first area, to be A, then A2 would be equal to A divided by 3, because 10 into 3 times is 30, so length is being stretched to 3 times, so the area has to reduce because the wire will become thinner. So A2 will be A by 3. We need to find the new resistance, that means we need to find the value of R2. Now we write the equation for R1. I write R1 is equal to rho 1 L1 divided by A1. I just substitute the values. R1 is 3 is equal to rho 1 is rho itself, L1 is L1 is 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2, so I would substitute it here, 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A1 is A itself. So here I get this. Now I'll write left hand side as right hand side and right hand side as left hand side. Rho 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A is equal to 3. So I would call this as equation 1. We need not simplify any further. So now we would be getting into R2, that is the new resistance. R2 will be equal to rho 2 L2 divided by A2. Now again we would be substituting the values. R2 I would write it as R2 itself. Rho 2 is rho. L2 is 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A2 is A by 3. So now this is of the form A by B divided by C by D. So the reciprocal of the denominator will get multiplied. So this 3 which is there in the denominator comes up to the numerator. So what we get over here is R2 is equal to 3. This is the 3 which came from the denominator. And 30 can be written as 3 into 10. So I would write 1 3 outside here, and rest I would write it together into rho into, now out of 30 if 3 has gone out, we are left with 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A. Now the thing which is there in the bracket, the bigger brackets here, you can see that it is exactly equal to equation 1. So from equation 1 we can substitute this entire thing as 3. So R2 happens to be 3 into 3 into 3. This I would write it as from equation 1. So we get the value of R2 as 27 ohms. So that would be our new resistance. So I hope this question is clear. It was a slightly tricky question. So getting into the next question, that is question number 11. A wire of 9 ohm resistance. So I would consider R1 is equal to 9 ohm, having 30 centimeter length. So L1 is 30 centimeter, that would be nothing but 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters, is tripled on itself. Now we need to understand what is tripled on itself. So suppose we have a wire like this, it's tripled on, I would write, yeah. So if it's tripled on itself, that means it has become like this. So if it is tripled on itself, the length will reduce by 3 times. So if the length reduces by 3 times, what would L2 be equal to? L2 would be equal to L1 by 3. So that would give us 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by 3. That would be 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. So that would be the value of L2. Now if it is tripled on itself, the area of cross section will become 3 times. So if we consider A1 is equal to A2 would be equal to 3 times, that is 3 into A. We need to find the value of R2. Now since there is nothing mentioned about the material, so we would consider resistivity to be the same. So I would write here rho 1 is equal to rho 2 is equal to rho. So now we would be getting an equation for R1. So R1 over here would be equal to rho 1 L1 divided by A1. So we can write R1 is equal to, instead of R1 actually I can substitute the value. So 9 is equal to rho 1 is rho itself, L1 is 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So I can write 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A1 is A itself. So I would write this. Left hand side I would write it as right hand side, and right hand side I would write it as left hand side. So I get rho 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A would be equal to 9. So this would be our equation 1. Now that we have got this equation 1, we would be getting into equation 2, that is R2 is equal to rho 2 L2 by A2. Now R2 would be equal to rho 2 is same as rho because resistivity does not change, and I have written that in the given data. L2 is 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So I write that as 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A2 is 3A. So now I would try to make it into the form of equation 1. So in equation 1 we can see that we have 30 in the numerator. So how do we make 10 to 30? We have to multiply by 3. So I would multiply the numerator as well as denominator by 3. So what do we get now? We get this as R2 is equal to 10 into 3 is 30. So here we get rho 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by 3 into 3 is 9 in the denominator and A. Now I would be taking this 9 outside, so I can write R2 as 1 by 9 into rho into 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by A. I would keep this in a big bracket. So now we can compare this with equation 1, and from equation 1 we can see that the thing which is here inside the bracket, that is rho 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 by A, is equal to 9. So we can write R2 is equal to 1 by 9 into 9. I would write from equation 1. So 9 and 9 cancels. So we get the value of R2 is equal to 1 ohms. So I hope you guys would like the video. Question number 12 onwards will be there in the next video, the link for which will be provided in the description. Do share the video with your friends and consider subscribing to the channel. So see you guys in the next video. Till then, Dhanyavad.